Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 96 of Two Left Thumbs, your source of weekly gaming news and updates. In this week's episode, we'll be talking about Prince of Persia being leaked, Gods and Monsters undergoes big changes, Baldur's Gate 3 gets early access, Sony wants to bring more first parties to PC, another COD's been announced, and the Xbox Series S and pricing for the next gen has finally got here after a hell of an afternoon. We also have all the best weekly deals from a range of publishers across all gaming platforms. Remember, if you're listening now, don't forget to share the podcast around, tell a friend about it, leave a rating as it really does help us grow. You can also sub to our YouTube, rate and review on your podcasting platform of choice. My name is Deft Puppies, and joined with me, as always, Grey Aussie Gamer. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Gamer.
I went a bit cockney there.
That was there.
Great Aussie Gamer, yeah? It's
right. Yeah, bruv. Where you been there, mate?
How you been, mate?
That's nice. Thanks, man. I'm good. We've had a 2-week hiatus. Thanks to moi. Had some IRL life to deal with, but dealt with and back. Here we are.
Yeah.
2 weeks of catching up.
I know. It's like a lot's happened too. Like I don't think I've even caught up. Like because once I knew we weren't doing the podcast for a couple of weeks, I kind of I can chill out and just not eagerly watch the news. And then everything happened. I was like, fuck, here we go.
Like fucking E3 week and Grey's not here.
Yeah. It's great. It's fine.
Great.
So
it's fine.
You're out.
What about?
Did you get any games?
I did get some. So cast your mind back 3 weeks ago, whenever the Batman games got announced. Fuck, I feel like that was years ago now already. It was only 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. So yeah, the new Batman game and Rocksteady's new game. I watched those reveals. I love that entire show. That DC fandom thing was just
it was pretty fun, wasn't it?
10 out of 10, man. That was like one of the best online convention thingies that's been done yet, like out of anyone so far. They just did such a good job, and that Batman trailer just got me all in the tingles. It was so good. So I immediately jumped onto Steam. I was like, fuck, I could really go a playthrough of one of those games again, because I've played them all. I think I've platinumed every single one of them, from back in the day, from Asylum to City to Night, and Origin as well. I think the other one is in between.
Yeah.
I go onto Steam and bam, there it is, right there, front and center. Like Steam knew what was going on. They knew, all right, some fuckers are going to want to come and check these games out. And it was there for $7. And I was like, thank you very much.
Hell yes, I'll take that.
I went with City, which was the next one after Arkham Asylum.
Yep.
I prefer it to Arkham Knight, even though it is the older one. It's such a good story, and playing, going up against the Joker and Scarecrow and
Arkham Knight wasn't my favorite either. I don't think I've finished it.
No, just the whole the with the Batmobile thing, and
it was really off-putting.
Yeah, this one, the city is just a good size. It's the fighting's on point, everything is. So I've just been ticking away through some of that, which has been heaps of fun just to go back into and
nice.
Mess about. I love those games. I've got it on hard difficulty, and it's still there's still a good challenge there, and it's fun to play. Yeah, so I've got that, and what else? Still ticking along with fucking Tarkov. I've reached a happy point in that game where I'm done with, pretty much done with the quests. There's still more to go, quite a few to go, but I think I'm just like, I can see the finish line for me. Like, I'm happy we're at just PvPing now, just focusing on taking in decent loadouts and going in and just killing people across the map the best I can. Not trying to gimp myself by using, a quest. Might say go use
to
it.
Get things done. Yeah.
Go use
just go in and absolutely slay.
Yeah. Instead of like dressing up like a scav with no armor and trying to kill people, it's like, which is fun, but it's also frustrating because it's fucking really difficult. And because it's so late in the season, in the wipe, and the new wipe will be coming up within the next month or two, I'm just like, yeah, okay, I'm happy here. Next month, we'll see how much further I can get into the quest line. So I hit around level 40. I'm close to level 40, which I'm super happy with.
Yeah.
Like,
Is it? There's no cap on there, is there?
no, there's no level cap, but it just gets exponentially harder. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think I only know of one person to get over level 70 on the entire internet. So
Oh wow.
yeah, and they stream it 12 hours a day. So that's a ridiculous amount of time they've had to put in. And yeah, it's Landmark is the guy I'm talking about. He's probably one of the best ones. Like, you just won the tournament for it. Yeah, and he's only over level 70. So it's ridiculous hard to get to that. If you get to 40, yeah, GG, you're doing extremely well. So I'm happy there. The other game I got into to try out, Wastelanders 3.
Oh, tell me more.
So get Xbox Game Pass on PC. Wastelanders is it's an old game. It's like really old. I think the fucking original was like 88 was the first one that came out, so a long time ago. This is where Fallout, was born from, and whatnot. And you can see there's big ties to that world within Wastelanders 3. So I've only just started it, got a few decent hours into it. It's an RPG, top down, combat mechanics similar to XCOM and the recent Gears Tactics and Mario vs. Rabbits, I guess. So
Yeah.
that's what you're kind of looking at.
Yeah.
Heavy
Turn-based tactics kind of deal.
Yeah. Heavy RPG elements, heaps of customization, heaps of things to do. Really dirty and gritty world, super gory. Yeah, it's super. It's interesting so far. I don't know how far. Like, I really want the combat to grab me, but that's the only part that's not holding me on just at the moment. It's got me enough that I'm interested to keep trying it.
How
But
far in are you?
like, done the opening act, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's,
So you're still very fresh into it.
yeah. No. Yeah, like less than 5 hours, 6 hours in,
Ah, yeah, right. Cool.
which is
So, yeah,
still
so you're
enough to
still
know if
kind of
you're
getting the
gonna.
hang of it.
Yeah, but it's enough to know if you're going to enjoy it. There's no permadeath that I know of. I don't think there is. Yeah, but the story is cool. The voice acting is really cool. Hardcore RPG. Yeah, Game Pass. Highly suggest go check it out. Go check a review out at least. I think I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah,
I
I've
think.
heard
So,
I've
yeah.
heard lots of good things so far. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it's my game. I played Gears Tactics. I kind of enjoyed that, but I think that was mostly because it was Gears. And Mutant Year Zero was pretty cool as well. So I might get around to it eventually. I think maybe we'll see how I'm going. We have so many
So
games coming up soon that I'm just like, I don't know.
yeah, so I don't think I would have bought this outright. It's only because it's on Game Pass and I've got the subscription for other games and stuff like that. So I might as well jump in and have a go at it.
Yeah.
Even though it was one I was semi interested in. It's yeah, it doesn't look fantastic. Like, it's not. It's nowhere near as good looking as Gears Tactics was. It's yeah, it's got this grittiness to the whole thing, and the character textures, the character details on them are just a bit washed out, and everything's a bit grainy and whatnot. But I think most people are going to be there for the RPG elements and the story and the customization, and getting new weapons and guns, and recruiting all your members and all that stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'll keep ticking along with it and see how I go, to see if I'll stay in there.
Nice.
It's gonna hold me more than Gears Tactics, because I didn't even finish Tactics just because that game got too repetitive for me.
Yeah,
with the
I had the same issue with the combat. I think I got to like the end of the second act, and I was like, no, I just can't do the same mission structure again.
Yeah. So that's what this does differently, and it's
Yep.
what also XCOM does differently. Yeah, XCOM's got like a big hideout section to it, which really helps you along and breaks the combat up, and that's exactly what Gears Tactics didn't do. And this one has got the really in-depth crazy RPG stuff. So it's got the cool story and side quests, and you're moving your character around, and so there's a bit more to it, which is good. That's it.
That's it. Awesome.
That's all I could do. I think that's pretty good. That's not a bad
That's
effort.
pretty good. Not bad considering you've been out and about and doing other things. That's pretty good, man.
What
Yeah.
about what about yourself? Talk to me.
So I've played a few games, not many, but a few. I've kind of been looping back to a few other ones. Retrying Horizon Zero Dawn, which still hurts my brain every time I try and play it. So I'm just putting that one away for now until it
That's
works
still not
properly.
fixed.
I'm getting stable frames now, but it is still just really stuttery and just it's like I want to play it and I enjoy the world, but it's such a slog to just get through those few small problems that are really off-putting. It's really ruining the experience for me. And I don't want to be because I know it's a good game, but I'm getting pissed at it because the quality of the PC port is so shit. So it's I every once a week or once every couple of weeks just kind of go back and dip in and see if it's any better, and then it's not. I was like, oh, fuck no. I think last time I played it 10 minutes in, I can't do this. I need to put it down for a while. It's not ideal.
That's fair enough. Fucking play it when it's good.
Yeah, definitely. So other games I've been getting into. I got into a couple of platformers. The last couple of weeks, I played the demo for The Pedestrian.
What is that?
So the Pedestrian is you play as a little character. It's a 2D side-scrolling puzzle game. So you start on a sign as a character, the little men working signs. You're the little guy, and you have to work your way through all these different signs that have different puzzles. So each you do one sign will be a stage, and you have to figure out, all right, so I need to get from point A to point B, but there's 4 different signs that you've got to mix and match around together to put them in the right order to get through, including doing the internal puzzles as well. So you might have to operate an elevator, but to do that you have to arrange 4 different sections of the map into the right order, and then connect the wires in the right spot as well at the right time in the right spot.
Right. Okay.
So it was really interesting. The demo was short. It was only about 20 minutes. It's free on Steam, and it was really fun. I'd recommend checking it out. I know someone else who's played the full game as well, and they said it's really, really good.
So, are you going to get the full game?
Yeah, it probably will at some point. It's there. I think it's $20 on Steam, but it's probably something I'll pick up later on when I'm looking for something fun and relaxed to do.
Yeah, cool.
Right, yeah. Another one I played was Knit Underground, which is very similar to a Hollow Knight and Ori and the Blind Forest. Yeah, talk to me. It's a precision platformer. There are 4 stages, and each stage you play as a different character that has different abilities. So I think the first one you get a Meat Boy-esque kind of stick to the walls ability. You've got to kind of get through it's the same kind of thing. Get through the stage. It's not as explorable as say Ori is or Hollow Knight is. It's very a little more linear. And you just got to get your way through the platform. And then I think the second phase, which I've played so far, you play as a bouncy ball, and you have to and you have all the physics and momentum of a bouncy ball. So you've got to try and figure out how to get the right momentum in the right spot to bounce up walls and up onto other sections, which is really cool. I'm interested to see what the other two
interesting.
The other 2 stages are, because so far, if they keep being wildly different, I think it's a really cool little concept. It's a lot of fun.
Is this on PC?
Yes, this is on PC. It's on Steam. I think it was around $15. I think for the game, and I did about 1/3 of the game in about 2 to 3 hours. So it's only a short game, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely well worth picking up.
That sounds pretty good for $15.
Yeah, it was really fun. I'm not sure on the price. I'd have to double check it, but I'm pretty sure it's about $15 from memory. And then the other one I got into was New World had a beta come out over the last couple of weekends. So I've been dipping my toe in some MMO action, which is
this was the one that got announced
to me
last year, didn't it? At E3.
Yeah, this is the one by Amazon.
By Amazon, isn't it? Yeah, that's it. And it got delayed, and now it's here. Is that right?
No, it's still in demo. It's not coming out till end of 2021 or 2022. They're planning on having another beta next year. So they're actually doing a beta and taking it. They're having enough time to take the feedback on board to hopefully improve the game, which is really, really good. Because what I played of it, it was pretty decent, man. Like, it was stable. The graphics held up well. The story is hella interesting. The quests were, they were kind of mostly fetch quests. Go here, go do this. And it's the typical kind of MMO shit. There was like PvP and like faction PvP as well, which is really interesting. Basically, what happens is you choose a faction and you're stuck with that faction permanently. So it's a permanent choice. But the coolest thing about it was, if your friends choose a different faction, you can't play with them in a group.
Really?
So it is super hardcore. There's like three factions. There's like a knights, there's a mage, and then there's like a sorcerer, a assassins kind of one as well.
Yeah.
And there's like yellow, purple, and blue. I think it is the three kind of standout colors. And yeah, so you've got like you're looking at the world chat, and it's like, this, like, you see your team go, there's this many people from this faction here farming kills, don't go there, or go there with a group. It was really, really cool to see. So I haven't played an MMO before, so this is all very, very new for me. But I really fucking liked it, man. I had a blast with it.
Yeah.
Just cruising around. Like, the enemy types are all a bit samey. They're all like kind of different models of zombie-esque kind of models. But they were done really well. So they were a bit repetitive. I'd like to see some more interesting enemies in there. Like, you had wildlife and hunting and all that kind of stuff in there as well, where you had to collect food. And apparently there's a giant bear you could fight in the beta, which I didn't get to because I only got about 8 hours in. So I wasn't quite leveled enough to do it because I think it was level 30 and I got to like level 14.
What faction did you pick? A knight.
I went with the sorceress.
The sorcerer.
It was like a sorceress necromancer thing, and it was purple. And I was like, I can't not choose purple. So
right, fair enough.
Purple.
What color? What was the Assassin's Guild one? That would have been me.
I think it was blue.
Nice choice. Nice choice.
Solid choice. And then I think the knights were like yellow.
Yeah, fuck that.
Also, there was like a lot of purple there, so I'm just gonna pick the side there's the most of as well. It'll help.
That's a cool little feature. It's interesting that they do it that way.
It's going to be interesting how that plays out, because as far as character creation goes, there are 2 servers you have the option of on the demo. So you could have a different character in each, but if you wanted to create you couldn't create a 3rd character. You could only really have 2 characters.
So you can never be in every faction.
No, you can never be in every faction unless that's all they have for the beta, and they're going to have more at release. But I don't know if they will, given the way they're running the factions. They're going to make you kind of like, hey, you have to make that choice, especially if it's like you have to make that choice and make sure your friends are making the same choice if you want to play with them, which I think that was the coolest thing about this, though. It was like, you have to make that massive choice of which faction you're gonna side with, because if you choose the one wrong, you're gonna not be able to play with the people you usually play with.
Yeah, no, I love that shit I love that in video games, man, where they, they make you choose, and that is it. You're stuck with it. I kind of get it. Yeah, I kind of get annoyed at even respecing in games. It's like, fucking righto. I guess I'll just do whatever and just respec.
Speaking of specking, you can respec with the weapons. So the way that perks work is they're all mostly attached to the weapons. So there are 4 weapon types. There's like a single-handed blade, a magical, short blades, and archery. Each one of those kind of sections have 1 or 2 different weapons that you can use that do different things. Like I think with the sorcery one, there was a life staff and a fire staff. So one that had like more healing properties, another one that did like AoE damages, and each weapon has 2 different skill trees that you can pick anything from at any time once you acquire your skill points to level into it.
It definitely sounds MMO. It sounds complex and whatnot. So it's PC only?
PC
The
only
beta?
at this point, I think. Yeah, the beta was definitely PC only.
The game
I
is only PC only, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. They haven't announced anything, but this could like it's very simple too. Like this could easily translate to a console just because of the controls are so simple.
Yeah, okay.
Like
That's good.
you've got say 3 or 4 different options for combat casting. Like it's very basic. So there's not like you don't need like 10 spare keys for different castings and potions and shit. I could see this working on controller quite well if they wanted to make that choice to adapt it to that. I think it even had, yeah, it did have controller options in there.
So you just got
So
to wait another year for release. So is the
yeah,
beta over, or is it a rolling, continuous type thing?
it's over for now. So it had 2 weekends just been, and I know that the devs are planning another one next year. So they're going to go back, taking the community feedback that they got this time around, implement it, and then do another beta, test it out, and see how things go. So they're
There
really
you go.
invested in what the community thinks, which is really really good to see. They're not just like, oh, this is a beta 2 weeks before launch, and we're not going to fix anything. This is just a glorified demo. There is an
Avengers.
actual beta. I mean, I wasn't going to say it, but we're there now. Um, yeah, I'm genuinely interested in this one now. I wasn't so much before. I was like, oh, it's something to play. I'll check it out. And yeah, I'm kind of keen to see where this goes now. I'm kind of excited.
You've piqued my curiosity. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's
I'll fight
yeah.
you because I'm going to be in a different faction.
Yeah, we're gonna have to fight. It's gonna be
But
the only way.
pistols at dawn,
Yep.
blades at dawn,
So
whatever it work.
oh no,
Let's do it.
there's guns. There's one
That's
gun,
yeah.
lock or something. It's fun. Anyway,
Cool.
That's been me. Should we get into some deals?
I do love some deals.
Got
Why
some
not?
deals? All right,
do we
let's
got?
kick it off with PlayStation. Over on PlayStation Plus this month, you have PUBG and Street Fighter 5. Our PSN deal of the week this week is Days Gone for $29. Now we can both, or you can recommend that, and I'm happy to back your recommendation on it from what I've seen.
Go
also-
damn well fucking play it. Good
$30
game.
is good too, man.
Yep.
Solid. And we have Hitman 2 Gold Edition for $40. Over on Xbox this week, our Game Pass pick of the week is Crusader Kings 3.
Man, what the hell is that?
It is a sim strategy game. So you go in, you start as one person, and you start a dynasty of ruling, and you like control as your character dies or passes away, you control the heirs or the next in line for the throne, and you try and take over the world, basically.
Okay.
It's really good. It's got some really lots of interesting choices. You can start as any country, any faction. You can choose any person to start. It's like fully customizable, and like every single choice has some kind of consequence long down the line. Like I've seen people play it where they've just dedicated their entire playthrough to torturing one person because they were mean to their original character as a kid and just constantly haunting their entire bloodline.
Oh god.
But it's really good, a lot of fun. I know a lot of people enjoy Crusader Kings 2 as well. And 3 seems to be all that and more, which is fantastic.
Is there like resource management, base building, anything like that involved, or?
No, it's more about diplomacy.
Okay.
I think there is some resource management in there as well. Also, with this one for Australians, this is the only way you could play it this week because somebody in the team forgot to apply for a rating in Australia. So so they had it in stores, and unless you pre-ordered it by a certain point, you couldn't get the game. And then it came up on Game Pass, so most people have been playing it through there. That's why I threw it in there. So
That old chestnut.
That old fucking chestnut. Just imagine being that person though that forgot. How much shit would you be in?
Oh man. You're doing all the pre-check tick-off lists. Like, yeah, we've got launch trailer ready to go, pricing, pre-orders are filled. Oh, we're good to go, Larry. Ship it. Let's go. Like, did
What
you get a
about New
rating?
Zealand and Australia? Nah,
Yeah,
they don't need it. It's fine.
Right. They'll play it. Yeah, that's well done. Cool.
Over on Games with Gold this month, we have The Division, Override Mech City Brawl, and De Blob 2. Deals with gold this week are Vampire for $18 and Neon Abyss for $21. Over on the Switch this week, we have Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle, $15. And in the Epic Store, we have Into the Breach. Control powerful mechs from the future to defeat an alien threat. Each attempt to save the world presents a new randomly generated challenge in this turn-based strategy game from the makers of FTL. Solid games. Go buy them all. Actually, the Neon Abyss looks really fun. It's very Damsel-esque, kind of like an action shooter platformer kind of thing, which looks like a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. On to the news this week. We have a bit to cover. So strap the fuck in. It's been a while. So the first one we're kicking off with this week is we have a Prince of Persia leak. So screenshots from an online Guatemalan retailer have reportedly leaked an upcoming Prince of Persia remake. The store page has now been taken down, but some users online managed to snap up some screenshots before then. Jason Schreier, who has a long history of reporting on insider leaks of Ubisoft game, namely the Assassin's Creed series, claims that this remake is intended to be a surprise announcement for Ubisoft's next September event. The listing only included PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch versions, and it is slated for release in November 2020.
So, interesting takeaway is it says remake, not remaster.
Yeah.
So that is implying that, it's from the ground up. They've rebuilt this and redone it and rebooted the entire thing. Prince of Persia, man, is a fucking solid franchise.
Oh, man, I loved Prince of Persia. The only reason it kind of faded away was because of Assassin's Creed. Like, Ubisoft kind of had a massive win with Assassin's Creed, and they kind of, Prince of Persia did really well, but they just kind of shoved it to the side and said, all right, we'll do something with you later. Maybe some shitty mobile games or something.
Well, they were, they were fighting against each other there for a while. They did have Prince of Persia releasing, going up against Assassin's Creed, and it must have, it's just cannibalizing either each other or Assassin's Creed.
Well, they were at that point, they were very similar as well. Like, they had the kind of action platforming thing going on, and having two very similar games, I can imagine would make things confusing and difficult for them to sell as well.
Yeah, no, I'm
all for it, man. I wonder if it's going to be Sands of Time. That was a good one. I like that one. Or maybe I'll start from the start.
I think I'd start from the start. I mean, they got a lot to pull from there. I mean, they could even just
mash it all together.
Redo a whole new one.
That'd be right.
They got heaps of options there, but it's it was a killer franchise, man. I fucking love this shit out. I didn't play every single one because they did start to pump some out.
Yeah, I think I played about 3 of them. That's about all I got in.
Yeah, I got up to it's like the cell shaded one where you played kind of co-op with the princess or whatever it was. She was in the game with you. Yeah, that. I think, which was a good game. And I think that's kind of where I stopped. But that was like me. It's like, yeah.
That's
and it was also going up against God of War at that stage too.
That would have been real tough for them.
Yeah, to take on that. It's also only listed for the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. Sounds weird.
I have a feeling we will see it on PC as well. I mean, Ubisoft have their store and they always have their stuff there. So I have an inkling that we'll see it on PC through the Ubisoft store. They just haven't got it through Steam or anything because this is a retailer leak. So it'll be like, PlayStation, Nintendo, and then you can buy
where's Xbox?
No.
I'm like, maybe
PlayStation play for their sweet exclusive.
Oh, I bet you they did too.
The absence of Xbox is interesting though. You're right.
Because there is another Ubisoft Forward. It's in 3 days, isn't it? It's the 11th.
It's this week. And I dare say that's when we'll be hearing more about this. So it'd be good because we can get a follow up for it. But
yeah, cool.
Yeah, Would love to see more
Well,
platforms there, as we always do.
we shall hear more about it next week. Then, by the sounds of it, I mean, if Jason Schreier's all over it, then he's
Yeah,
rarely wrong when
yeah,
it comes
it's
to
very rare, even if it is just like fucking minor details. This guy just
yeah.
like he just has like everyone on Ubisoft in fucking chains. Like, tell me your secrets.
Yeah.
On to our next story. Gods and Monsters, we're still following on the Ubisoft train here, undergoes some big changes. So, Gods and Monsters, Ubisoft's open world fantasy game, has yet to make an appearance during this summer's wave of online reveals and announcements. A random mishap saw that the alpha version of the game briefly was available on Stadia and has prompted Ubisoft to talk about the game. However, in quite the surprise, Ubisoft said that Gods and Monsters has dramatically changed since it was first shown during E3 2019, to the point where Ubisoft has even renamed the game to Immortals Phoenix Rising. Speaking with Eurogamer, Ubisoft wanted to make clear that the gameplay shown in the leaked Stadia game is not representative of the current state of Gods and Monsters. The leak was apparently an early demo shown to journalists behind closed doors. The video shows the game strikingly similar to The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, which features a leak-like exhaustion meter. This is notable because Ubisoft clearly wants everyone to know that Gods and Monsters is not just a Breath of the Wild copycat. So
Yeah.
apparently this was like very. It was like people like looking at it was like, is this like B grade Legend of Zelda here? Breath of the
That's
Wild.
exactly what it looked like when it first came out, when they first showed it.
Yeah.
What's with the name change?
I don't know. It's so weird, right? I mean, Gods and Monsters was such a cool name.
Yeah, fuck, I would have kept it as that. Immortals.
Phoenix Rising. It's. I mean, I know they're talking about the main character being named Phoenix, which is Fenyx. I'm not sure if that has any significance other than not being anything related to Gears of War, I guess. But yeah, interesting. Like for like, especially since like it was only last year when they were showing the demo, and it's had such sweeping changes since.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they weren't just impressed with it. I don't know. I
Maybe it
feel
just
like this
play
game
tested
is,
terribly, or they just realized
yeah,
that it was too close to Breath of the Wild and they needed to dramatically change every system they had.
yeah. Well, they wanted to pivot away. I don't know. Yeah, it feels like something has popped up where they wanted to either move the game away from the concept. Maybe they had, I don't know, some weird BR thing baked into it, and they're like seeing that's kind of like,
Dying
you
off
know,
a bit. It's like, what's up with
mellowing
that?
out of it. It's like, right, well, let's kind of snap that off and put this in instead. I don't know. Like, we're gonna have to see this. It was supposed to release this year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be seeing it for a year or two now. Probably two.
You reckon?
But I mean, if they're making dramatic changes to the game, I mean, I know the name change isn't much, but that can like, I mean, Anthem changed names from like, or it changed names and logos and all kinds of shit in the course of like 6 months. So there could be some like they've decided just to redirect it. They've had a change of heart in how they want to do it, and just I don't know. Be
Well,
interesting
then
to see
why?
how it
If it's
goes.
not, if it's not even close to ready, if they're like it's still a year or two away from this game, then there's no way they would have even mentioned the name change. They just would have shut up and just let it drift off. Like, why even bring it back up?
Yeah, true.
I think this is close to being ready.
You're gonna what about 6 months out?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I would say so. Maybe even shorter. I reckon. I think, yeah, start of
Like
next year you'll see this.
start of next year, like holiday 2020 kind of release.
Maybe holiday, yeah, maybe December, maybe because I don't think it's a massive game. I think it's a kind of a smaller game for them. It's
Yeah.
not. It's not
It's not going to
ginormous.
be like it's not going to be a flagship title for them, I don't think.
No, no, no. Yeah, and it's not a big AAA, huge rated thing. It's something that they just wanted to do on the side. I think, from what I remember last time when we've spoken about it and covered it.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully, again, another Ubisoft title. So we should hear more about this
We'll
in a
probably
few
hear
days.
something about it. Yeah, in the next few days. We'll probably follow up with that. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully we get some good shit from this Ubisoft Forward. It'd be nice. Now, Baldur's Gate is getting some early access. an early access version of Baldur's Gate 3 is coming on the 30th of September, my birthday, by the way. Thank you for that. And according to Larian director of publishing Michael Dowse, it will cost $60, making it Larian's first priciest PC game. Divinity Original Sin 2 was $60 on console, but on PC it launched for $45. Dowse revealed the price on Twitter, adding that people shouldn't feel pressured to buy it during early access, he stated. As announced last month during a live stream, the early access version will give you a 25-hour adventure that will take you to Faerun, Avernus, and the Underdark, Drow, and Demons. And that's just the first Dowse says. He's seen very few complaints about paying $60 for a game that isn't finished yet, but he still worries that he sees it as a perception problem with early access. He argues that the $60 still nets early access players a full game when it's ready, and in the meantime the ability to play development builds and help shape the game, adding additional value. I think it's better to think of early release as playable pre-order, he says. Though of course it isn't exactly that, its function is entirely to make the game better through pulling feedback and testing ideas, iterating directly with our audience.
It's a weird spot, hey?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
I don't have an issue with it, like, because
no,
there's a really fine line that gets done with this style of what they're doing, like Baldur's Gate was doing. You know, Tarkov is in the exact same spot.
I was going to bring Tarkov up. Right? It's still technically early access, but you're still paying.
Yeah, you're still paying
price for the game.
Yeah, to beta test it. Really, it's, you know, they implement changes and patches every fucking second week, every week nearly, and bigger ones every month, and it's constantly evolving. And you're warned about that, though, even when you go to buy that game. It's like you are buying into a beta, you know, here's what could happen, and, you know, etc., etc. I don't have a problem with Larian doing this with Baldur's Gate, because
as long as they're very open with the fact of, all right, this is, I mean, like they're giving you a 25 hour preview of the game basically. And if that's just the first act, I'm going to assume there's like maybe three acts.
Yeah, you'd think so. 3 to 4 acts.
And given the style of game it is, it kind of leans into a lot of replayability, especially if they're trying out different builds and stuff as well. And I know that with Divinity Original Sin, there was still giving out stuff for people that bought early access like 3 years on from the game launching. So they kind of look after their people, which is cool. And I think having a part in a game like that is awesome. I can see why people could be upset about paying $60 for that too, but I think it's just one of those things. It just depends on how. I know, like, it just depends how where you sit in the fence with this one, really, because it can kind of go either way. I can understand his concern.
Yeah, but you're getting, like, so when you're paying, like, so you're paying retail price for a 25-hour game. I mean, fucking how many? Not many games can go for 25 hours anyway. I mean,
and I mean that still gets you the full game at release too.
Yeah, so as long as they are open with it, that, you know, you are paying for early access, you are paying for, you know, chance of.
If they've got to make sure they're showing you everything that you're getting and what you're getting into. Yeah,
and also it'll be good for them to get a final release date kind of locked in as close as they can, so that you know when you're actually getting the game, like the full game, because you've paid for a full game, but you're only getting a third of it.
I think that's another good point. If they just like, was it what's that one that's still in Kickstarter?
Oh, there's lots.
Is it Star Citizen? It's like 10 years.
Oh yeah, is it? I wouldn't be surprised.
Was it that one? I think it was that one. I could be wrong, but there was one that was like, people still don't know when this fucking game's getting released, so they've like paid hundreds of dollars to like get cool shit in the game, but they've never released the game because mostly because of feature creep, because the devs like, oh, we've got all this money, we can do all this extra stuff, and it just keeps going. So I think especially for me, getting to be comfortable to invest in this, I'd want to know a release date.
Yeah, it'd be good to know, like
even if it was just a month, you know, it's like,
Oh, it won't be a month. It'll be a year.
Yeah.
I reckon you won't see this till mid next year. At
Oh yeah,
least.
easily. Yeah, plenty of time to get into it. But yeah,
And it also depends.
there's
If
always
it
that
comes out,
risk.
if that 25 hours is an absolute buggy shitfest of a fight, you're crashing your game every 10 minutes, you get save file problems, you get all these, then there might be a bit of an issue. Like,
Yeah,
mate, yeah.
it's a risk. It's a risky $60.
Yeah, but see, on
Yeah.
the flip side, you could go and buy fucking Tom Clancy's Breakpoint last year, and that came out as an absolute clusterfuck that barely worked. So,
That's a
and
good
that was
point.
released. That was released as a finished AAA title with all the
Yeah.
marketing bells and whistles, and it came out shit. Like, finally got it working eventually, but heaps of games get released early.
Yeah, I think
Not,
for me, this is probably something I'll look at next year when the game's dulled down. Less about, oh yeah, this is out now. I'll poke in and check it out. I won't be like busting out the gate to get it.
I might check it out and come on the 30th of September. It's a good time, I think. I think what they're doing here is they've seen an opportunity to kind of get ahead of the curve of everything that's going to be coming out soon,
Yeah,
and because Baldur's Gate's got a huge history, and it will pull in a lot of people. So maybe that's what they're doing. They're just
trying to get in before that kind of Christmas rush to
Yeah,
interest people.
before new next gen consoles release and Cyberpunk
Yeah.
and all these guys, like, right, let's try and see how keen people are for this while we can work on other features. And we've got obviously they've got 25 hours of the game ready to go, completed with quests and bits and pieces. So yeah, I'm all good with it as long as, like we've just said, they are
As long
open
as they're
about it
not going to
being.
fuck around too much, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, they've
Yeah.
said early access. It is what it is. Like, there you go. You're fully aware when you are signing up to this what you're getting. Go for it.
On to our next story. Sony wants to bring more first parties to the PC community. Sony has said in a 2020 corporate report that it plans to bring more first party games to PC in the future. We will still explore expanding our first party titles to the PC platform, says the report, in order to promote further growth in our profitability. The decision to bring more of the Sony in-house catalog to PC is cited as a key strategic point in the coming direction of its game and network services division. The reason for the change is partially given the report. Competition from online PC games and players from other industries is expected to continue to intensify. In short, Sony wants to bring games to the PC because that's where a certain segment of the game buying audience already is, and presumably because Sony thinks they'll stay there.
Yep.
Yep, I'm good. This is good. As long as it's not like Horizon Zero Dawn and it's properly done, we'll be fine.
Yeah, no,
I'm still amazed that and Death Stranding were done on the same engine, and they're totally the opposite end of the scale from each other in terms of quality.
Yeah, they've got to be done in house by their own people. Like, they can't.
They can't outsource it. They've got to
outsource it. Yeah, that's just what they've done here. Yeah, and Death Stranding is a fucking absolute masterpiece on PC. It's like,
yeah, I've heard
perfection. Yeah, I mean, so of course Sony are going to be doing this. Like, it's going to be happening. All their games
with Microsoft pushing its Game Pass to PC and just going everywhere. They have to do this to keep up.
But they won't do it day and date. You will not see first party.
There'll be a delay. Yeah,
there will be, and if they're smart about it, like, I think for Sony, the smart way to do is release your first party game. Say, your God of War comes out on PlayStation. It's exclusive there for a year, 2 years, whatever. Then you amp it up, and you get all the marketing going, and you release it on PC. Better, faster, stronger, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever tagline you want to attach to it. And then exactly what they've done with Horizon Zero Dawn 2. Then you tease the second one, you announce the second one, the next one after that, and you see how it gets the ball rolling. Like, okay, now there's all these flow of announcements, and you've grabbed another market. You've grabbed all these people that are on PC playing it who might not have a PlayStation 5 or whatever, and they go, shit, I really want to play the next one because I fucking love these. I'm going to go buy another console and play this early so I don't have to wait. is.
Yeah.
And that's a snowballing effect that
It's a smart
they can have.
strategy. I like it.
And
It's good.
they can bounce between the two platforms, and they're selling it twice.
And then if they
You know,
really like the game, they're like, oh shit, I can't wait for this to come out PC because I can crank everything up and make it look pretty as fuck. Looking at you, Ghost of Tsushima.
yeah, just buy it twice.
Just buy it twice. People will do that too. Like, I know plenty of people that played Horizon Zero Dawn on PlayStation and then bought it on PC as well because they love the game that much. They want to play it again.
Yeah,
And same
I
with
nearly
Death Stranding.
would have, if it didn't run so shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm regretting that purchase a little bit at the moment.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, in the end, Sony bringing their games to PC is 100% going to happen. Just fucking bring Bloodborne over to PC and uncap it. Give me 60 frames on Bloodborne. Let me replay that on PC.
That'd probably break it, to be honest.
It,
So it's
it would break. They would have to
break it. They'd have to remaster it for sure.
They got to redesign it, yeah. But still, that's what that you guarantee that's going to be their plan for this gen.
Yeah,
can we say this gen yet? We can't.
Can we? I mean,
no. Can we?
Next gen.
Say next gen.
But for what, a few months, I guess.
Yeah, come November.
Yeah, November we'll call it this gen, I guess, when they're out.
Yeah, fair enough.
So we have another COD that's been announced. It happened just after we finished the cast last time. Yeah, another one coming around. So Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is the official title for this year's Call of Duty game, which was recently confirmed after weeks of teasing from developers Treyarch and Raven Software. Now we have a first official trailer and a release date. Activision has revealed that Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, try and say that 100 times really fast, will launch on PS4, Xbox One, and PC on November 13. Though it's less certain where it will launch on PS5 and Xbox Series X. The reveal trailer sets up a decades-spanning narrative that reintroduces some familiar characters, not to mention real-life US President Ronald fucking Reagan. Black Ops Cold War campaign brings back Mason, Woods, and Hudson from the original Black Ops, meaning it's set before the events of Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. It will also feature a brand new zombies experience, Activision has confirmed. Details are short on the co-op multiplayer mode, but we know it will intersect with the Cold War narrative.
Yeah, woo!
Neat.
New COD.
Neat. Cool.
I don't
Bring Mason back. I liked Mason. He was great.
Are they going to get old mate? Who's the Aussie guy that voiced him again? What's his name? He's in Avatar.
Oh,
Sam Worthington. That's it.
Yep. Yeah.
I wonder if they're going to get him to revoice Mason again.
I'm assuming they would. I mean, it wasn't that long ago since he did it realistically. It was like 5 years.
Was it? No, it was longer than that, man. That's like 10 years, isn't it? I don't know. Yeah.
How many just Call of Duty, man? It all just fucking blends together, hey?
That wasn't 5 years ago. There's no way Black Ops 1 was 5 years. That's 10 years.
10, maybe, yeah. Fuck. Are we that old?
That's PS3.
I'm having a crisis now.
Black Ops is PS3.
Yeah, but was that end of PS3 or mid?
I don't know. We'll have to look it up afterwards. But either way, the trailer they showed was on the PlayStation 5, and it looked really good. Like that's like the first big game, AAA game that we've seen a buttload of gameplay and everything running on a next gen machine, and it looked really good.
Interesting that they haven't. I mean, I know it's Call of Duty and there will be multiplayer, but it wasn't specifically mentioned any point. It was just the story.
No, that is tomorrow. So I've seen
tomorrow. Okay, there's a multiplayer thing. All right, cool.
All the YouTubers and everyone has been talking about it. So the 9th of September is when they're going to reveal. Yeah, I've seen them all tweeting about it today. They must be allowed to talk about it today. They're like, yeah, we've recorded. We had a big event for. Yeah. So it'll be the same thing as what they did last time, pretty much. They do the story thing and announce that. And then they get all the big streamers and YouTubers and everyone in and have like a big multiplayer session, which they will show off. I assume that's what they're going to do again. Yeah, cool. I'm happy with the direction they're going. It looks good. I mean,
Yeah,
Black Ops
I mean,
was
Black
the
Ops was
best.
they were fantastic. So like
The
the
stories were
campaigns were
awesome.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah,
um,
the fucking multiplayer was probably the best for me. I enjoyed Black Ops One multiplayer, just like
yeah. Black Ops One I played a
it's an
lot of.
addiction.
I think it
Yeah.
was after was Black Ops 2 the one with the dog? Or was that
Uh,
3?
no, that's
Was that with Riley?
yeah, no, that's Modern Warfare. Like that's Warfare One or something. That's a different one. That's not in the
Was
Black
it?
Ops line. Yeah,
I sworn it was
yeah.
a Black Ops 1. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, I mean that's again they all blur together eventually. But Black Ops was good. I enjoyed them. Be interesting to see how they go.
I'm more interested in like honestly what this series does moving forward. Like
With the multiplayer and
I
stuff.
no, no, not with the multiplayer. I mean, the multiplayer is always going to be. I think the multiplayer is going to break off and be its own thing. Like it should just be a free to play thing that they do.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
they've
know.
been doing the last couple of years, just adding on to the one thing for the multiplayer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think that'd be
just
the way to
prefer that.
go.
So I
And
don't.
then
What
release
happens
separate
to
stories and zombies separate. Just
well, what happens to Warzone now? Does Warzone stay around? Does the new battle royale mode come out and Warzone just literally dies?
maybe, or maybe they grandfather it all in, and our file size is about 400 gig.
Yeah, and the rest. See, so I don't know what they're gonna do. Uh, yeah,
Maybe with Warzone they'll just add in some extra maps from there. But if you want to play it like a maybe a map for Black Ops, like a larger map, like the BR stuff, and then just have the traditional multiplayer on Black Ops itself. So that way they can have the two things going at once, kind of.
mm.
Because I
Oh,
mean,
then you got to.
are they different studios running those?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so. Yeah, it's different
yeah.
studios every time.
So realistically, they could run in tandem with each other.
Well, they don't want to. Yeah, you wouldn't want to have
You wouldn't
too
want
much.
one overtake.
No,
Yeah, but
it'd be crazy having too much take over. What they should do, honestly, is just get rid of Warzone and just replace it with the new map from Black Ops, whatever there, and just that team takes over. But you keep all your stuff that you've bought and paid for on the fucking because you got battle passes and everything else that people have been spending money on for the last
yeah.
year. So you can't just wipe all that away. Go right, start again
Yeah, you
with
just
this.
transition it through to the new game, and it becomes like their multiplayer kind of server thing. And then
Yeah,
just release your story and your zombies on another as a separate sale.
yeah, that's how
Yeah,
I'd do it.
yeah. We'll see what happens. It'd be interesting. I think that's the most interesting about this is how they're going to go forward with it. Um,
Also, what are they going to do with the timeline? Like, obviously, they're stretched for new ideas. I would say because they're going back
they're
to
going backwards. Yeah,
these older time periods, and it's like I don't think anyone wants them
no
to
one
go into
liked
the future
no
ever
one liked
again.
future Call of Duty. That went terribly wrong.
Stay the hell out of space and all that shit. But yeah, and I don't think anyone wants them to go back to World War Two, World War One, because it was a bit too basic.
Yeah,
Yeah, puts them in a tough spot. And I think man, I'd love to see Call of Duty take a break, like just
right.
take a breath for
Just
1 year.
get a new game. Just do something new.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Bobby Kotick wants all those dollary doos,
he
and
wants
this game just
all that extra money to
rinse,
stuff
absolutely
his
rinse
extra
money.
pockets with.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
good luck, COD. See what happens.
It happens. On to our final story of the night, and the reason it's here is because it only happened today, so we're fresh, hot off the presses for this one. Xbox Series S and pricing for next gen has been leaked and officially announced all on the same day. So, after a series of leaks on the Xbox Series S, including price, Microsoft has officially confirmed the details, officially unveiling the Xbox Series S via Twitter. With a $299 US retail price, the company states that the next generation console comes in its smallest footprint to date, with more details to come soon. As for the details on the console yourself, you'll be able to lay it down horizontally, and you'll be able to see the left-hand side has a single USB port and a wireless connection button. This will be a diskless version of the next-gen Xboxes. Also in here, there was a price point for the Xbox One X, which was at $500 US, but that has not been confirmed by Microsoft as of yet.
You mean the Xbox Series X?
Series X, yes. Fuck.
Yeah.
So confusing. Microsoft.
Their fucking names are just shit.
I know. And they're doing it to intentionally confuse us because they have this thing, and it's Xbox All Access. I know how you feel about this, and I'm pretty well on the same button, where you can pay off your Xbox. I think for the Series S, it's like $25 a month, and for the Series X, it's like $35. That's all US prices as well. As far as we've seen, we haven't seen any AUD prices yet, and I think you get Game Pass and a few other things with it, but you can pay it off monthly.
Yeah. The most insidious contracts you'll fucking, not the worst you'll see. But yeah, no, definitely not a thing I would
it's not. That's not it, Chief. It's not good. Interesting though that they've lined up very closely to the way that iPhones are released, where they're very similar named, and when a new one comes out, you can have the option to upgrade your contract to continue paying the same amount of money for a new console with a service.
Yeah, it's the service, man. It's where Xbox want to go with their brand now. It's about locking you into contracts. It's about here's a service we can provide. Would you like the larger one? Here it is, an extra $15 a month. There's only
just an extra $15 a month, and you get a free game.
Yeah, exactly. It's look. Let's talk about the Series S. It's finally announced. It's here. Well, it got leaked, and then Xbox just took over and had
hard. It was like, oh yeah, by the way, this is here.
They had to. I mean, obviously, they did not want it to come out this way. They had, by the looks of it, they had something planned for this week because there's a trailer that's come out as well.
Yeah, I think they have a press conference or like a conference kind of a presentation thing next week. I think it's planned for.
Right, so they had it all ready to go, and obviously someone has got their hands on it and has dropped the goodies, and then Xbox have owned it, said, right, make it official, here you go. And coincidentally, it makes it the first next gen or any generation console ever have it first announcement on Twitter.
Yeah, it is too. Shit.
The first one. Normally there's presentations, conferences, and all types of shit and shenanigans, and here it's just drop it on Twitter. There you go. It's the best we can do at the moment. But you feel sorry for him. Having that thunder stolen away from him and the hype that they could have built up, it kind of sucks. But
I mean, they did well with what they had. I mean, they capitalized on the momentum of people getting hyped up about the leaks. Fuck it, we got to go control the situation. Here you fucking go. Enjoy. We'll give you more details soon. Which actually makes me more excited for the next press conference from them, to be honest, because I know we're seeing hardware now.
Yeah. Well,
because I mean, they haven't confirmed the Series X, so that means we're going to see that next week, and we're going to see prices and stuff, like official prices.
I think they've done official prices. I think are out. I think it's $4.99 for the Series X, like that. Windows Central website, who pretty much worked for Windows, came out and said, yes, okay, we can confirm that that's what it is. So you're looking at $4.99 US for the Series X, $2.99 US for the Series S.
They're pretty decent price points too. Like, it'd be interesting to see what the Series S has packing for it power-wise. I mean, I know it won't be as powerful as the X, but...
No, so I did see the spec sheet, not the full spec sheet, but I did see their rundown from their trailer. So it's got... Pretty much it's targeting 1080p. So it's diskless 1080p machine. It can upscale to 4K, and it can do media, I think, at 4K. But it has a much weaker GPU in it, graphics unit.
Yep.
It has a custom SSD. So I don't know if that means it's the same as the Series X or if it's.
I have a feeling it'll be very similar where you can
I
have the
think it will
plug-in
be.
extra so you can expand.
Oh, I'm talking about speed wise and
Oh,
stuff like that. So
speed-wise, right, yep.
it's only 512 gig, I think. So it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty small. It's got the VRS, the VSS, like the sample shading, whatever the technical term is for it. It can do up to 120 frames. Yeah, that's it. It's just a slimmed down version. I think it's got the same CPU as the Series X as well. So it's nowhere near as powerful. I think they said it's about 60% smaller, and much weaker than the Series X. It's bigger brother, but it can still pretty much do everything
Everything.
at 1080p, which is what it's targeting. So you're not
Which
going to
is,
be playing the latest games in 4K, which I reckon is fucking awesome. Like
yeah,
this,
I think
I
honestly these
don't.
still sell better than the X.
This will sell 2-3 times the amount than the Series X will. Like
Easily.
I cannot recommend anyone to go buy the Series X, like
There's
at
no
all.
point.
Even if you're an avid Xbox gamer, like that's the only reason you'd go buy it is because you love Xbox and you don't care. You
You
just
just want to
want
have that cutting edge tech
you
on
want that,
there.
which is fine. Yeah, go
Yeah.
buy it. But you can't. If someone random was going to come up and go, "What should I buy?" It'd be like, I would say go buy a PlayStation 5. Now I would say go buy this because
Yeah.
this will get you some really cool stuff. Will it be worth it in 2 years' time? Maybe not.
Probably not.
It might be a waste of money by then because you're gonna probably by that stage you're going to start to see a big graphical increase what these games are going to be doing and looking like, and you're going to see a big difference between what this thing can do, compared to its bigger brother and the PlayStation 5. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm down. I like the way if they market this thing right, if they attach Game Pass to this, like this is the Game Pass machine. And
I mean, I think that's what it'll be, right? It'll be like, download your games at Game Pass. That's why the memory's so small. If it's only 512, it's a couple of games realistically.
yeah,
Yeah.
that and xCloud. Like if that thing just if they market it that way, if they don't stay away from the power narrative for this one, they just got to stay. Like I don't want to hear fucking
Yeah, I don't think they
teraflops.
will. I think like they stated this as the smallest Xbox they've released, so I think they're going to go for that convenience factor of it's
Yeah,
small, it's tight, you can just kind of pop it away in your house. You can just link it up to your phone and play XCloud, and you have Game Pass there, so you have a whole library of games you can just download at will. So you don't need to worry about memory storage. But if you want a little bit more, you can buy our custom hard drives
for a bullshit amount of money.
for like $100.
Yeah, for half the price of the console itself. Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
I'm liking it.
I'm down for it. I mean, this is probably what I'll end up getting to replace my old Xbox if I get one flight for the kids. This would be what I get. So $300, fucking there you go, sorted.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, it'll be 400 in AU, but
yeah,
yeah,
better than the 800 that you'll probably pay for a new Series X
for 4K
AU.
essentially.
Yeah. So I reckon it's they've done well, and it's interesting. It's interesting because it's new. So this is the first time we've ever had this in any generation. We've never had this happen before, where we've had a company, in this case it's Xbox, come out and go, right, here's two different SKUs. Here's two different units that are really different. Not like one is digital only and whatnot, and this one looks red and that one looks orange. These two units are very different, and they will
Yeah,
give
they
you
have
different
they both have
experiences, depending on what you want. And that's interesting because it's never been done before, and it's going to be like the reason I don't think it's ever really been done before is because you can really risk, cannibalizing your
your own
units,
consoles.
your own console sales. But because Microsoft aren't interested in selling consoles, they're interested in selling a service to you and a subscription to you and a contract to you.
They don't
That's
care
where
which one you get.
no, that's why this is really cool because they don't
Yeah.
care about you looking at the Series X and going, I want the power. I don't have the cash. Do I go to the PS5? Because that's probably going to be a little bit cheaper than the Series X, but not as cheap as this. what do I do? Now they've given you like, fuck it, you can go in at $2.99 and buy this, and they
Yeah,
lock you in. You're in. They've got you then, and then you're on Game Pass, and then you build your digital library up, and off you go.
A few years down the track, you're like, you know what, this isn't performing as well anymore. I need to upgrade. And there's the Series X right there. It's just had a slight price drop. Thank you very much, and you are back in that ecosystem again.
Would you like to sign this contract, sir, for 3 more years?
$35 a month.
That's right. So that's only 6 cups of coffee.
Exactly, every month.
That's the way
6 cups of coffee. You can have a brand new cutting-edge tech console in your lounge room.
So it does put PlayStation in a
very interesting
spot because now they can choose the price of what they do. PlayStation is going to come out and it's going to sell better just because of the name brand.
Yeah.
The games they've got. Microsoft is lacking a lot of games.
They don't launch launch really.
Halo has proper fucked them.
Yeah,
not having it launched. That is a massive blow to the brand. But what it also does is you can pretty much guarantee you will not see an Xbox Series X Pro, in 2 to 3 years. But you will see a PlayStation 5 Pro in 2 to 3 years.
Oh yeah, I think Xbox will just release another console. It's like, okay, here's they need a Series E.
I don't think. No, I don't. No,
yes, they need a Series E so they can have SEX, and that's the only reason I want it.
Right.
But I think they'll just release. Oh, okay. Here's they're not gonna do like a Pro or anything. They'll just release another series when the time's right. No, it won't be like a new generation as such. It'll just be another box to play on.
I don't think they're going to release anything. I think this is it.
You think this is it? Last consoles we'll ever see from Xbox?
Last console you'll see from Microsoft is this. That's it. And because you don't need one. You can just play like an xCloud. Why go through all the heartache and pain in the ass it is to go develop and build one of these consoles? You just put everyone digitally to play them.
Right.
You don't. Yeah, and we're looking like we're talking like
T-boxes.
It probably will. Just look at the Series X, the Series S here. I mean, it's that would look perfect next to your underneath your TV, tucked away somewhere. You don't need to fucking look at it, but it serves a purpose and what it can do. And if that isn't a really good conduit for xCloud, say xCloud could use the boost from it or somehow whatever they've got working with their servers, and that thing is perfect. It's cheap. Yeah. You can hide it away, and it just, if xCloud works, then it just works, man, and it's just going to be fucking awesome. That's what they'll do. Because we're talking what 5-7 years.
Yeah.
And we see even another generation. Like that's console generations are, the last one went for 10 years. This one
10 years from now. I always forget that it's been that long.
This one's gone for 7 years, going on 8, I think. So I don't think we see Microsoft coming out again. I think that's it.
That'll be it.
Because they've gone big, man. Look at the Series X. The thing is an absolute weapon. It is packing so much power, man. How do you improve on that in 2-3 years' time without it being, how do you even get a significant jump out of it?
Yeah, true. Unless they're
without
8K gaming, but I mean, again, if they've got their cloud,
but then
they've got their cloud system sorted, man, they can do most of the load on that.
Yeah, and then you also you got to think how much are you going to charge realistically for a machine that capable? It's just ridiculous. What they're doing now, I reckon, is the smartest thing they've done in fucking years, and yeah, it's good shit. I like it. It's interesting. Yeah. It's new, and it's up to Sony to counter or see what. Man, we know what Sony's going to do, man. They're just going to do their thing. They're going to do what they've always done.
It'll be interesting to see if they match the prices
every time. I think I reckon Sony will come out at $449 now, just to be under it. I don't know.
Or
Yeah, I don't
that's
think
what they'll
they'll
sell
price
the
match it.
discless version as, and say it's just as powerful, just doesn't have a disc, and they'll go with that. So it's like, oh, you can buy this discless version for $449, or you can get one with a disc for like $550 or whatever. But
Yeah, it could do. I reckon, what was my original prediction? I think the discless version for PlayStation would for me was with $399 US and
yeah,
$499 US for the disc
for
version.
the disc version, yeah,
I'm
sounds
still
about right.
I'm still sticking with that.
They'll have
Yeah,
to put. I think they'll put the discless version right in between the two Xboxes, though, as far as
yeah,
price.
it'd be
Yeah,
smart to do that, and then you
yeah,
leverage your games. You know, I think that's the smart play for them. It was funny reading Twitter before we started, just because this thing has only been pretty well newly announced.
yeah.
There's someone in the comment section, like one of the top comments, he's like, "Oh, this is absolutely amazing." He's like, "Look at this thing, $299." Like he's like got the Xbox logo in his fucking avatar, and just lives and breathes it, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, and he's like, "Oh, and it's like got backwards compatibility and all of this shit." And he's like, "I've got like 300 physical games that I can just slap straight into this bad boy." And it's like the first reply tweet under him is like, "Dude, this has no discs. Like, you cannot put your physical discs into this fucking machine." And that's like, you can just see this guy's heart shatter into a
Oh
gajillion pieces.
no,
He's like
no, the
so
poor bastard.
devastated.
Give
He's
me conversion. I need digital conversion.
it was pretty funny.
Oh
And
no,
all
that poor bastard.
absolutely
You
roasting him
fucking
and
you
tearing
hate
him a
to
new
see it.
asshole. Yeah. It's like, man, take your fanboy goggles off for a second and just look at the picture. Like, there's no disc. You can't put your fucking game in there, man.
Also, the memes that came out of this instantly was fucking impressive.
Yeah, the subwoofer.
The old subwoofer lookalike. And the takeaway order box, like the drive-through order. That was my favorite one so far.
Yeah, there are
Yeah,
there
it's
there
good.
are some good ones getting around. Yeah, go Xbox. So they finally blinked.
They finally blinked. We got it.
They
And
finally blinked.
I was joking with someone. I said the cast isn't coming back till we get prices. And here we
Yeah,
are. We got prices. They knew we were coming.
that's it. I think
We
it's
reached
it.
out to Xbox and said, "Hey, look, we're back. We're back on the 8th. We really need something from you. Just give us something."
Good on
You're
them. Now
welcome.
on to PlayStation. And what do you
Yes,
reckon? Week?
I reckon we'll hear from PlayStation the day before or the day of the Xbox press conference.
Hmm.
Because that is typical PlayStation. Like,
Yeah, but they won't announce it. They won't announce it via a tweet. Like they will have their
they'll have a whole trailer thing going or something.
yeah, they'll have their own show for sure.
Yeah, but I
Which
think they'll
if they
they'll
get
drop
that,
something very close to Xbox's presser. It's coming on like next week or whatever it is.
have they confirmed there's an Xbox event next week? Is that like 100% legit, or is it just like a maybe iffy thing?
Let me have a quick look.
I didn't know if it was 100% confirmed that they've got one actually planned because they
There was one in August, but apparently it's been pushed to September.
yeah, because I've seen rumors about the PlayStation one that was due for today or yesterday or something that got pushed away as well to some other unknown date. Who can keep
Yeah,
up?
yeah. So I mean, we've got fucking Ubisoft Fords everywhere, which is messing everything up. But yeah, I have a feeling. I think it's in a couple of weeks, possibly towards kind of
I think
mid September.
we've been saying that for a while.
Yeah. I think PlayStation will release something about the same time with the price, and that'll be it. And it will be on, and we can just have it over and done with. Wouldn't that be nice?
It would be nice.
Would be nice. Anyway, speaking of nice, that is us done for the night. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening and so much for hanging out keenly for this new episode. Sorry it took so long to get here, but we're here now. If you would like to find us on Twitter, you can find us at left_pod. Also on YouTube, you can catch a replay of the live show. If you missed it, there was no live show this week. We had some technical issues with the Grace camera, so we decided to go dark on it and do an audio only. I still may upload it to YouTube. I'm not sure yet. You'll find out when it gets there, I guess. You can search for that on YouTube at Two Left Thumbs Podcast. You can find us live 9 p.m. AEST every Tuesday night. See us there on the YouTube channel. Gray, where can they find you?
Over on Twitter and what's the other one? YouTube. There you go.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing you do.
That's the Dubalaka thing. Yeah, that one. I was supposed to film shit tomorrow, but I can't now with no camera. Damn it.
Unintentional day off. You gotta love it.
Yeah. I'm just recording more footage. Don't need a camera for that.
Perfect.
What about you, man?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at deft_puppies with a Z. Gentlemen, thank you so much for listening. We will be back next week. A fantastic week of games. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.